In the blistering heat of 1148, French and German Crusader forces were defeated after 4 days of brutal battle outside Damascus. But amid the blood and debris, Robert of Dreux found a treasure pushing through the wreckage of war. A rose, heavy with scent, unlike any seen in France. He took it as a trophy, but what he carried home became more than a memento. It became legend.
Now, this story is just one folklore. There's also stories that long before the Crusades, the rose could have come to Europe with the Romans, brought west from the trade routes of Persia. Roses were deeply woven into Persian culture, not just as flowers, but as symbols of beauty, mysticism, and the divine. The damask rose is known as Gul Mohammadi in Iran, and is especially revered for its scent and healing properties. By the 10th century, cities like Kashan and Shiraz flourished with rose gardens under Persian and Islamic empires. And the Persian gardens added to that mysticism of the rose. They had a unique design principle of trying to create forms of paradise on earth. They were carefully arranged in geometric patterns and reflected sort of a cosmic order, harmony and spiritual balance. Water flowed through channels, dividing the garden into 4 parts, symbolising life and renewal. Among the many plants, the damask rose is held in a special place. Its fragrant blossoms were seen as earthly reflections of divine beauty and purity, filling the air with a scent meant to awaken the soul. Roses weren't simply decoration. They were essential to the garden's sacred atmosphere, connecting nature, art, and spirituality. Gardens like Beg-a-Ahram and Beg-a-Fin still capture this vision. In Islamic traditions, the damask rose is also highly sacred. Rose water, a distilled mix of petals and water, is still used today to cleanse the Kaaba in Mecca during Hajj and Ramadan. It's a tradition rooted not only in faith, but in the healing and purifying properties of the plant itself. For centuries, the damask rose has been esteemed for its therapeutic properties. In traditional Middle Eastern and Southern Asian medicine, various parts of the rose were utilised to address ailments of the heart, mind and body. Rose petals and rose water were traditionally employed to alleviate inflammation, reduce fevers and aid digestion. And interestingly, modern scientific research supports many of these traditional uses. Studies have identified that Rosa damascena contains compounds such as flavonoids and essential oils, which exhibit antibacterial, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. For example, researchers demonstrated that extracts from Rosa damascena possess significant antioxidant activity and can inhibit the growth of certain bacterial strains. Furthermore, the essential oil derived from the damask rose has been found to have calming effects, potentially reducing stress and promoting relaxation when used in aromatherapy. Through its enduring presence in both traditional remedies and modern therapeutic applications, the damask rose continues to heal the afflicted. And this is supported by ancient wisdom as well as contemporary science. But Persia wasn't the only place where these roses found meaning. In France, the apothecary's rose, a similar type of rose, was essential in the physic garden. Early medieval botanical gardens dedicated specifically to healing. In Japan, Rosa rugosa, a local variety, was valued as both decorative and an edible flower. And yet, among them all, the damask rose stood apart thanks to its extraordinary aroma. Its fragrances made it one of the most highly prized roses in the world. And to make the most of the fragrances, rose oil was desired. To make it uses a century-old ritual coming from Persia. Thousands of damask rose petals are hand-picked before sunlight occurs, and the petals are quickly taken to copper stills, where they're distilled over a gentle heat, and steam carries their essential essences through to a cooling coil, which then starts to create the rose oil. And it takes nearly 4,000 kilos of petals just to produce 1 kilo of the precious oil, which is what makes it one of the most expensive essential oils in the world. And this ancient craft is still celebrated in Kashan's festival. And this delicate Persian distillation process is more than just a craft. It's a sacred art passed down through generations and connected directly to this rose. Now, though the damask rose originated in Persia, it also found a second home in Europe, in the mountains of Bulgaria. Since the 16th century, Bulgaria has become one of the world's leading producers of rose oil. Its Valley of the Roses has ideal conditions for cultivating the Damask rose, and today the flower is deeply embedded in Bulgarian identity and the economy. Each year, festivals are held to celebrate the rose harvest, a centuries-old tradition that still thrives. But what of the rose's birthplace, Damascus? Well, unfortunately today, Damascus, once a thriving centre of cultivation, struggles under the weight of war. Years of conflict have devastated much of Syria's agriculture. Entire fields of damask roses have been lost, and the ancient traditions of rose cultivation in the region now fight to survive. And yet the flower persists. Plucked from the ashes of war, the rose endures. This beauty, shaped by history, is scent drawn from the thorn. This is the sacred damask rose.